This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. I hope you guys are doing fine. I would like to meet everybody on the call, but before then, Ubon, can you confirm that you can hear me clearly?
Yes, perfect.
All right. Thank you very much. So once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to today's session. It promises to be very exciting and very interesting. You're here to learn so much, and also, you're here to learn how to become a business analyst and how to use user stories as a business analyst. So it's a packed session. And you're going to be learning so much. All right. So welcome once again to Analytics Masterclass, where you get to learn a lot and also meet with interesting people. So before we get started, my name is Damlola and I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm going to be your host for today. So I'd like to meet every other person on the call. I can see a couple of people. We are expecting more people to join, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. So in the chat, I want you to tell me your name and where in the world you're joining us from. So my name is Damlola and I'm joining from Lagos. You know, the city of Lagos, Nigeria. I'd like to meet every other person on the call as well. So please tell me your name and of course where in the world you are tuning in from. You can just drop that in the chat very quickly. Your name and where you're joining us from. You know, it's just for us to familiarize with one another. This is going to be a very short session. In just 2 hours, we are in and out. All right. But in just that 2 hours, you're going to be learning so much. Okay. So for some reasons, I'm here to see any message in the chat. I don't know if you guys can hear me. But can you just oh, I think somebody's unmuted. All right. So in the chat, can you just tell me your name and where you're joining us from? Very quickly. Waiting for the first person to drop their name. All right. Thank you very much, Pavel from the US. It's good to see you. Ubong from Abuja. Nice to meet you as well. Let's keep it going. We have a lot of people on the call. So if you're just joining again, welcome. We are just introducing each other here. I want to get to know you and also know where you're joining us from, you know, tuning in, joining this call from. So just tell me your name in the chat and where you're joining us from. So Odunola from Osun State, good to see you. Sulakio, I hope I pronounced that correctly, from Nigeria. Welcome. It's good to see you as well. Esther from Nigeria, good to see you. Yeah, more. Well, so while more people are joining and you know, introducing themselves, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce us at Analytics and what we do in particular. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just let me know if you can see my screen. It should pop up in the right. So my screen is coming up. I should Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you just drop a 1 in the chat very quickly if you can see my screen. Hi Oluwashiu from Lagos, Nigeria. It's nice to meet you. So I just want to know if you guys can see my screen. Just drop for me 1 in the chat. Okay, fantastic. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so today again, welcome to today's session. We're going to be speaking on how to write user stories as a business analyst and other skills required to launch your business analysis career. I'm going to ask a very quick question again. If this is the first time that you're going to be hearing about business analysis, can you drop a yes for me in the chat? So this is the first time you'll be hearing about business analysis. You don't really know what it is about. You're yet to learn what business analysis is about. Can you drop a yes? And if you've heard about it before, you just want to learn more about it, can you drop a 1? Let's just make it like that. So this is the first time you'll be hearing about business analysis. Please drop a yes in the chat. And if you've heard about it before, you just want to get to know more about it, please drop a 1 in the chat. All right, I'm waiting for you guys. This is going to be a very interactive session. So everybody on the call, I implore you to please let's try to respond and make it very interesting. So I'm seeing a lot of seeing 111. All right, so business analysis is not very new to a lot of people here. All right, fantastic. Okay, so we're going to be speaking on how to write user stories as a business analyst and other skills required for you to launch your business analysis career. But before we even get into that, all right, who are we at Analytics and what do we do? Who are we and what exactly do we do? We are a leading educational technology company that is fully focused on providing specialized learning, training, skills, helping people transition into tech, providing specialized training in technology skills, and delivering comprehensive data consulting services. All right. And with over 4 years of experience cutting across different sectors, we've helped people of the global community transition into tech. As a matter of fact, we've helped over 2,000 people transition from the classroom into their first job in tech across the UK, Canada, Africa, Europe. Like I said, UK already, Asia, Antarctica, all continents of the world. And we are committed to making the technology space more accessible, right, for people, regardless of your background, regardless of what you've done in the past, regardless of your experience, your level of experience and what have you. We are committed to making the technology space more accessible through experiential learning, all right, in different tech career paths, such as data analytics, business analysis, we have data science, we have data engineering, we have cybersecurity, we have Scrum and Agile project management, and then we have AI engineering. And then our team of instructors are from leading global companies across the world, from companies like Apple, Microsoft, McKinsey, Sahara, Deloitte, and so on and so forth. And these people are coming with their wealth of experience. They are coming with their knowledge. They are coming with their, commitment and everything that you need to succeed in this role. All right. So they bring a wealth of real world experience and are dedicated to delivering an engaging practical learning experience that ensures that you receive maximum value for your investment in your future. All right. So this is a little bit about Analytics. You can check us out on our website at analytics.io, on Instagram at Analytics, on LinkedIn at Analytics, and of course on Twitter at Analytics. So that's a little bit about Analytics. So yeah, who is this young lady speaking with you, who's going to be hosting you for today? Of course, my name is Oluwadamilola, and I have close to 5 years of experience cutting across several areas within the data ecosystem, covering data analytics and business analysis. And I have experience cutting across working as a data analyst in the retail and supply chain sector, also in the FMCG sector as a data business analyst, and currently in the EdTech as a data analyst. And I have helped over 2,000 people transition into into tech. Of course, I'm always all about women joining, the tech, more women joining tech. We need more women in the space, and I'm all about advocating for that. All right. So if you'd like to connect with me, get to know more about what I do and what I stand for, you can connect with me on LinkedIn at Oluwadamilola Ajumobi. And then meet our facilitator for today. This is the super person who's going to be hosting the practical session for today, and his name is Teso Adorowa. All right, so Teso is an experienced business analyst with vast experience across several dynamic projects in the financial services sector. All right, so Teso currently works as a senior business process analyst at Wema Bank PLC, and he has experience as working as a business analyst. Of course, like I said, a lot of experience. He has experience working as a product manager, as an IT research and development analyst, as a banker, a business analysis coach, and of course, an AIGP Healing Six Sigma GB. That's a lot of experience right there. And today, Teso is going to be taking us through writing user stories as a business analyst, right? And of course, how then we'll go on ahead to speak on how you can become a business analyst. So if you want to connect with Testo, you can check him out on LinkedIn at Testo Adorowa. All right. I hope we are still together. So again, what are we doing here today? It would be very unfair of me to just go straight into the session without introducing, specifically stating what we are doing here today, what we're going to be doing in the next 1 hour. So we're going to be writing user stories as a business analyst. Yeah, first off, we're going to be starting with writing user stories as a business analyst. We look at, okay, what are user stories? How do you craft your user stories? And then how do you eventually take them into the Scrum environment or Jira environment, and then completely analyze your user stories. We're going to be looking at that today. Then secondly, we're going to be looking at the pathway to becoming a business analyst and securing the job, that job that you're looking for, that job that you need to move to the next level in your career, the job that you need to completely scale. We're going to be looking at how you can land that the pathway to becoming a business analyst and securing the job. All right. Thirdly, we're going to be looking at the 10 Analytics Growth Internship Program and how you can be a part of that program, how you can be a beneficiary of that program. Then lastly, we look at our special discount offer to you. So for everybody that is here today, we have something light and sweet for you guys, and trust me, you're going to really enjoy it. Okay, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and anticipate a very lovely session. If you'd like to take your notes and everything, that is very much welcome. So there's one thing that we usually say here at Analytics, right? There's something that we really hold on to. You see people saying, oh, I can't do this because I don't have the experience. I can't do it because I've never done it before. I can't do it because it looks impossible. But what we always tell everybody that comes across 10 Analytics is that it always seems impossible until you have done it. It always seems impossible until you have actually done it. It's like saying, oh, because I don't have a science background, I can't excel in tech. But that's just you saying it. Have you actually tried it for you to know that, okay, it's not possible? It always seems impossible until you have done it. And we don't just say that, right? We have a lot of success stories to back up this peculiar saying. First off, we have this amazing person in person of Olamide Michael, who got a job as a business data analyst in the UK, working with the energy sector. And I can tell you for a fact that when Olamide joined 10 Analytics, he did not even have tech background. He did not have, the tech skills. He learned everything that he required to get a job here in 10 Analytics. And today he's working as a business data analyst in the UK, even in the energy sector. So you can see how he moved from, what he was doing previously to working in the energy sector, one of the booming sectors, one of the sectors that brings big money, So you can see this is his message to our the founder of Analytics, that's the person of Adesa, talking about how he was able to land the business analyst role, right? So he told us he came into the program, took the program to the end, joined the internship program, and then at the end of the day, started applying to jobs, doing interviews, and eventually he sent us a message telling us that he got a job as a business data analyst on Friday. All right, and this is us celebrating him all the time. So this is again Olamide, who did not have any experience in business analysis, but was able to land a job as a business data analyst in the energy sector. This is another person of Mojisola. Mojisola as well did not have any tech background, but today she's working as a business analyst in the UK as well. And they're just fabricating these things. These are the messages that they sent, talking about, oh, I finally got an offer from the job I start next week. These are people that did not have the background, they did not have the skills, they just like you joined a master class or got referred by a friend and then joined the master class and they got into the program and today they are reaping the benefits. And we have so many people like that as well. If you go to our LinkedIn page, you see more and more testimonials. If you go to our Instagram as well, you see a lot more testimonials to attest the fact that it always seems impossible until you actually take the step. All right. So at this junction, we are going to be moving into the practical part, speaking about how to write user stories as a business analyst and other skills that you require to launch your business analysis career. I'm going to be bringing up Tesso to take us through this aspect. Then when it's done, I'm going to come back to tell you how you can get started as a business analyst and launch your business analysis career. All right. So, hi Tesso. Good evening. I hope you are doing well.
Hello, Damilola. Good evening, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening. It's good to see you, Tesso.
Good to see you too.
All right. So we'll just get started from here.
All right. Yes. So, hello, everyone, and Damilola has done a great job with the introduction and everything. She has introduced us to basically why we are here, right? So I won't waste time talking about what she has talked about. She has done a great job. Let's go straight into the introduction, right? So let's start with who a business analyst is, right? The topic for today talks about how to write user stories as a business analyst and then other skills that you require to launch your business analysis career, right? But let's start with understanding who a business analyst is. Without looking at the definition that we have on the screen, can somebody tell us who a business analyst is, right? Not necessarily what business analysis is, but who is a business analyst? Can you maybe type in the chat? Let's see the ideas you have about who a business analyst is. I mean, it could be one sentence, it could be two, just telling us who a business analyst is. Can we see that? I see some people typing. Can we get that? Someone who adds value, a problem solver. Very, very correct. I cannot agree less. I cannot agree more. A business analyst is a problem solver. I like the fact that problem solver is repeating. Okay, great. Thank you, Ola and Ogechi, for that. You cross-functional. I like that addition, Ogechi, to that. Angela says a change maker in an organization. All right. So, however you define a business analyst to be, business analysis is the practice of enabling change, right? We've rightly said that a business analyst is a change agent, is a problem solver, and all of that. And how does business analyst do that? By identifying what needs are and recommending solutions that would give value to stakeholders in the long run. And how do business analysts or how do business analysis do this? By using a set of tasks and techniques. All right. So a business analyst is basically a change agent. He helps to identify and define what needs are, right? So sometimes a need can be an opportunity, right? You have seen an opportunity that the organization can capitalize on. That can be a need, and you're helping to deliver value to your stakeholders within or outside of the organization. And then as a business analyst, you also have specialized knowledge, right? You act as a guide and lead the business through unknown and unmapped territories, right? This set of tasks and techniques that you use as a business analyst would help you direct the business, right? There's an illustration that I like to use. Business analysts would show the business where to go, right? So it is your knowledge, your expertise that will tell the business, okay, we need to change in this direction, we need to move in this direction, or we do not need to move at this time, right? solutions that a business analyst that can recommend can also include doing nothing. Okay, Ubong, has my slide moved now? I think I'm still on the first slide, introduction to business analysis. Can we all see that, please? Can we confirm we can see that? If you can see my screen, introduction to business analysis, please type 1. Let me be sure it's moving. Can you see my screen? Can you see introduction to business analyst and who is a business analyst?
No, Teso. So it's talk at how user stories are.
Okay, so I think I would
Right.
stop sharing and share again. Apologies, please. Okay, can you see my screen now? Who is a business analyst? Can we see that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I was talking about how business analysts point the business in the right direction to go. I also said that the solutions that a business analyst can recommend could also include doing nothing, right? Telling the business that at this point in time, yes, there are changes in the environment. We need to do nothing, right? We should not respond now and maybe have a strategy for our response based on what happens next after what happens now, right? So a business analyst basically points the business towards the right direction. And then as a business analyst, you are an interface, a go between the business teams and the development teams. You understand both sides. You understand the development team who work on the IT solutions, and then you understand what happens in the business. You are that person who who acts as a liaison between these two guys to make sure that the goals of the business are being translated into solutions that the development teams will build. All right. Then, now that we've talked about who a business analyst is, let's look at what a user story is. Okay, so we want to know what user stories are and how we use them or how we create user stories. Okay, and then look at another skill that you would be needing as a business analyst. So, what is a user story? All right, a user story is most derived from a requirement. Now let's start with defining what a requirement is. So a requirement is a condition or a capability that is required by a stakeholder. Let's use Ogechi as a stakeholder. So Ogechi says, Teso, I want you to build me an application that would help me view all my bank transactions in one place. Okay, that is a requirement. That is a capability. That is a condition that Ogechi wants me to fulfill. Up until that condition is fulfilled, according to Ogechi, I have not met her expectations. All right, so that is a requirement. Now, that requirement is translated into something called a user story. What is now a user story? A user story is brief, and it's a simple description of a feature or a functionality from the perspective of the end user. Using Ogechi's example now. So what does Ogechi want? Ogechi wants to see all our banking transactions in one single app and on one dashboard. All right. So the focus is majorly on the user's need and the value the feature will provide. Now, there's a format for writing a user story, right? The template is, as a user, most majorly you specify the type of user here. For cable TV, it could be a subscriber. For maybe a hospital app, it could be patient. For banking apps, we call them customers or clients, and all of that. So the action to be taken so that the benefit or the value. Now, using Ogechi's example, I would say that as a customer, I want to log into my app so that I can see all my banking transactions on the dashboard. All right, that is a perfect example of what a user story would be. Using Ogechi's requirement, for example. Remember, Ogechi said she wanted to have all our banking transactions in one place, So for us to build an application that would consolidate all our banking transactions in one place, right? So we now told this requirement or wrote this requirement from a user perspective, to say that as a user or as a customer, I want to log into my dashboard so that I can view all my banking transactions, right? But telling this story from the user's perspective, it helps us connect better with what the features that the user wants so that we can deliver them accordingly. So moving on, there's something known as an acceptance criteria, right? A user story has an acceptance criteria. What is then an acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria is telling us that what are those things that have to be in place, right, for us to say we have met this user story or we have completed this requirement. Acceptance criteria is saying it provides a detailed description of what the requirements are and what this feature must satisfy, right? What the features that the product must have, or the features that application must have to satisfy Ogechi's need, right? So, but a user story and an acceptance criteria helps to define the scope and quality of the product and serves as a reference point for testing and validation. What we're trying to say here is, at the end of the day, when we say we have met this requirement, we have built this feature according to Ogechi's specification, right? The user story and also the acceptance criteria would help us check if, in fact, we have completed these requirements, we have met Ogechi's specifications, because the acceptance criteria would state clearly in details what should have been done. Okay, so for example, with the example of the dashboard, the acceptance criteria would be that first, login, right? A consolidated login or a single sign-on has to be created, for Ogechi to be able to log in and ultimately see transactions across all her bank accounts. Okay, so that would be, when that happens, when we are able to have a single sign-on that consolidates all our bank accounts, we are sure that we are pointing into the right direction, and then on the dashboard we should have a feature that allows Ogechi to sort. So, okay, I can see all my banking transactions right now, but I want to be able to sort by a particular bank or particular type of transactions. Okay, that should also be able to happen. This gives a full experience of what Ogechi is expecting to see once she gets to her dashboard. All right, so yeah, we talked about acceptance criteria already. Acceptance criteria are a set of conditions that a software or feature must meet to be considered satisfactory or complete by the customer or end user. So for example, I'm talking about Ogechi being able to sort her transactions by maybe certain kind of transactions or the origin of the transaction or all of that. So the acceptance criteria would help us check if we have met that user story or not. All right, so how do we write a user story? How do we write a user story? So first of all, what we do is identify the end user, right? Identify the end user. Who is our end user? Here we were able to identify Ogechi as our end user, right? After that, what does Ogechi want, right? We specify what they want, what she wants. Then describe the benefit. What is the benefit? So after performing this action, after doing what Ogechi wants to do, like logging in, what is the benefit? What do they seek to achieve? right? Having their banking transactions in one place. So we describe the benefit and also add an acceptance criteria. That is those conditions that have to be in place for us to be able to satisfy Ogechi's need. All right, so we have to answer 5 W's when creating a user story, right? So first, we have to identify, define who the user is, specify what they want, describe the benefits, and then add the acceptance criteria. Now, for the acceptance criteria, we need to answer 5 W's. First, who? Who is the user, right? We're using an internet page, for example. So who is an internet user? So is it a customer? Is it an employee? Is it, who is that person in particular? Then where are they taking the action from, right? It's on the home page. When? It's when they open the page. What do they want to see? I want to read my company's news. Why do they want to do that? So that it can stay up to date. All right. So these would help you identify the user, the particular user you are dealing with. So for example, our user story will read, as an intranet user, we can also replace this to be employee, okay? As an employee or as a shareholder or as a stakeholder, on the home page, when I open the home page, I want to read my company's news so I can stay up to date. This is also a perfect user story, that tells us exactly what the user expects, as they journey through the website. So what is the acceptance criteria here? What is an example of an acceptance criteria in this situation? So at the top right of the home page, present a news web path with the list layout showing 4 news posts. So for the internet user to be able to, or for our employee to be able to get to the news page, right? They need to have a place that takes them there, So we're saying that an acceptance criteria would be, we have to make sure that we present a news part, right, on the web, so that there's a list and there are 4 items, the last 4 news posts that are there. On the top right-hand side, the user is able to see them and they can click to go to the news page for them to be able to read and stay up to date. And the news layout must show the most recent news. So yes, we are showing 4 news posts, but they have to be the most recent, right? So when we fulfill this criteria, we are sure that this user story is complete and we have met our users' requirements. All right. Now, that is user story. We are moving over to stakeholder analysis or stakeholder management. So first we'll describe what the stakeholder is, right? Your user is your stakeholder, but you have several other stakeholders who would be involved in the solution you are building, or who the solution you are building would affect, either positively or negatively. So who is this stakeholder, right? You would hear me mention when I was talking about the user story, I talked about user stakeholders and all of that. So who is a stakeholder and how do we even identify and manage them? Okay. A stakeholder is a group or individual with a relationship with the change, the need, or the solution. Is a group, can be a group of persons, an individual that have a relationship with the change, the need, or the solution. We're going to define what this relationship is shortly. So we have internal stakeholders such as employees, and then among employees, there are also maybe job roles and job functions and all of that. But for now, let's look at them as employees. Then we have managers and then owners of the company. External to the company would be suppliers. Suppliers could be vendors. It could be, other support organizations, that supply products or services to this company. Then we have the society, government, creditors, shareholders, customers, as the external stakeholders to these companies. So all of these guys can be stakeholders if the change directly or indirectly affects them. Now, so how do we identify a stakeholder? So those, we have a group or individuals that we looked at in the previous slide, right? So when looking at a particular change in need or a solution, how do we know who are stakeholders on the project? Of course, not everybody that we have identified here would be a stakeholder to the change we're trying to do or the solution we're trying to bring to the organization, right? So it is very important for us to know how to identify who we can call a stakeholder on our project. So now, a stakeholder on our project can be a person or a group or maybe an organization that has positive interest or negative interest, or are involved or are affected by the execution or affected by the completion of our project. That is who a stakeholder would be. So you ask yourself, is this a person, group, or organization? Do they have positive interest in our project? Do they have negative interest in our project? Are they involved in the project, in executing the project? Are they affected by the execution of the project, or would they be affected by the completion of the project? Anybody who falls in any of these definitions, a person, group, or organization, if they have positive or negative interest, if they're involved, if they're affected by the execution or are affected by the completion, they are your stakeholders as it relates to that solution you're building or the project that you're working on. All right, so now that we know who stakeholders are and we know how to identify them, what then is stakeholder analysis? Stakeholder analysis is, we have identified all of these guys, right? But they are not equal. I say this all the time. Not all stakeholders are equal. If you treat them equally, you'll be making a mistake, right? Because some are more equal than others, some are more important than the others. This information is for you as a business analyst. I also tell people that you can't tell a stakeholder group or somebody that, okay, when it comes to this project, you're not really important. You're just here because, you can't say that. You have to make sure that the information is confidential. The classification of who is important and who is not on your project is information for you and the project team and not necessarily to the stakeholders. Okay. That's why we need to do stakeholder analysis so that we can know who is important. Permit me to use importanter. Who is important and who is importanter, right? I mean, technically, who is important, who is more important, who is less important, who we can maybe just monitor or ignore, and all of that. All right. So, like I said, managing stakeholders, knowing who your stakeholders are, managing them accordingly, right? Helps us succeed on our projects. We take into account everyone who have significant impact, right? Significant impact. Let's take note of that. Some people have impact, but they may not be significant, right? Those who have decision-making authorities that can affect what we are doing on the project and so on, right? We need to make sure that we put them into account. Some examples of stakeholders that may have are the project sponsor, the software developer, the tester, the project manager, the business user, and other stakeholders, other stakeholders that are also affected. Remember those guys we defined in the previous slide, those ones that are positively or negatively affected, those ones that are involved in the project and or affected by the execution or the completion of the project. So you identify all of these guys, and that's why the business analyst is in the middle. It's your job to identify who these people are, and these guys would give you insight into what is to be built. Each one of them has their contribution to your project or to the solution that you're building. Now, we're going to look at the Mendeley stakeholder matrix. It is used for creating a stakeholder analysis matrix. All right. What does this do? It helps you put your stakeholders into a matrix, right? Group them into various categories to help you engage them accordingly. So the Mendeley stakeholder matrix is a framework that is used to analyze stakeholder attitudes and expectations and their potential impact on business decisions. So like I said, not all stakeholders are equal. We don't want to bother ourselves or spend so much effort engaging some stakeholder group that are not our priority, okay? So the first group we're going to discuss is the low power, low interest stakeholders. These guys are low priority. In fact, we just need to monitor them just in case their interests change, or not very likely, but they have more power all of a sudden, you know. So we need to monitor this group, right? They are low priority. We don't really need to do so much to be able to capture their attention or all of that. We don't need to do that at all. Okay, so they have low power and they have low interest in the project. So I mean, they don't really matter as much, but we have to monitor them, like I said, so in case they moved towards the right or on top. Then the next is the low power but high interest stakeholders. These guys have a lot of interest in your project. They are your fans, basically. They are rooting for you. They want the project to succeed because of the benefits that they stand to gain from the execution of the project. All right, so they are your fans. You need to keep them informed. You need to understand that the information that you give to them would help stir their interest the more. And if it's possible, involve them into the project in areas where they have interest. You know, for example, you can involve them in some usability testing. Say, okay, guys, come in. We want you to be the first set of people to use this application. So please come use it. You know, it interests them to do that and give you feedback, right? So keep them informed and capitalize on their interest areas. The next set of stakeholders we'll talk about are the high power, low interest stakeholders. Although their interest in the project is quite very low, they have high power. It means that they have decision-making authority or some kind of power they can wield on the project. You know, so if they make any decision today, it might impact the project and ultimately impact the business. So we need to keep these people satisfied with the aim of moving them towards the high interest people, right? We want to increase their interest in the project so that their power can be used positively to help the project. So that takes us to the last group of stakeholders, who are the key players. These guys are majorly involved in the day-to-day execution of the project, and they have high power and high interest. We need to keep these guys at the top of their list, engage them actively, if possible, every day, right? To be sure that we are meeting their expectations, because these are the movers and shakers of the project. All right, so with that said, that's the Mendeley stakeholder metrics, or you can simply call it the stakeholder analysis metrics. It helps you to identify who is who on your project so that you can give your effort accordingly and not use your energy or your strength to focus on a low priority stakeholder. See, from experience, let me tell you, from experience, it is these low priority stakeholders that make the most noise. You know, those are the ones that will tell you, okay, this is not working. I tried it, it didn't work. Are you sure this idea would even work in the first place? And all of that. Check. They are low priority. You know, you need to understand that. You need to know that they are low priority, so that when they say all of these things, you can know that, or be sure that you can brush it off and everything would be fine. All right, so it is very important for us to identify who our stakeholder is. It is one of the skills that you need to function as a business analyst. Now, what are the competencies that a business analyst would typically need? All right. Before we talk about the competencies, what are competencies first of all? So competence is the ability to do a particular task to a prescribed standard. right? Do a particular type to a prescribed standard. So that is what a competence is. And in business analysis, we would say that a competence is the ability to perform business analysis roles. All right. So what are these competencies? They are broken down into three different categories: personal qualities, business knowledge, professional techniques. In personal qualities, we have communication, relationship building, influencing, facilitation, resilience, analytical thinking skills, attention to details, problem solving. I remember at the beginning of the class, everybody said it was a business analyst is a problem solver. So you need to have problem solving skills to be a business analyst. You need to be a leader, adaptable mindset, political awareness, team working, and professionalism. It may seem like a lot, right? It isn't actually. Most of these are intertwined. And by the time we take you through our classes, you discover that you are ticking all of these boxes if you do not already have them. All right. Then we move to business knowledge, commercial awareness, business case development, domain knowledge, subject matter expertise, digital technology, organization structures, supplier management, enterprise, and related infrastructures. While going through this, when we're having a class, not like a master class like this, like during our programs, right? I tell students that this is our promise to you. At the end of the day, you should have all of these competencies and you should be confident in the competencies that you have. So basically, I'm also telling you that at Analytics, this is our promise to you. We are going to make sure that you have all of these competencies and you're confident enough, to ace those interviews and get that dream job that you want to get, right? Subject matter expertise, digital technology, organization structure, supplier management, enterprise and related infrastructures, architectures, are things that you are going to, they may sound new to you right now, but at the end of the training, you know that, okay, I know these things and I'm confident in my abilities to show them off and talk to employers about them and get them to hire me. Right, professional techniques like stakeholder analysis and management. We looked at a bit of stakeholder analysis right now. Then strategy analysis, investigation techniques, requirements engineering, business process modeling, data modeling, idea generation and visualization, gap analysis, benefits management, project management, and portfolio management. All of these things are things that, we are going to imbibe into you. Okay, I think Nehemiah dropped a question. I'm tempted to attend to that. He said, how do you come up with the user story when you do not have knowledge of the domain or what the team is building? Very interesting, Nehemiah, and that's a good question, right? So there's something called requirements engineering. So a good thing we're on that page. So requirements engineering involves a set of tasks, a set of techniques that you use to understand the domain. So that is where you have that knowledge, right? We also looked at domain knowledge as under business knowledge. These competencies are going to help you understand what is being built, first of all, right? And then you are able to build user stories. It comes very easy. By the time you apply your requirements engineering and requirement elicitation techniques, you'd become that solution. That team you're talking about, it is you now, right? That is building. So you're going to use these techniques to understand what is being built, the idea, the solution, and then you come up with these user stories without having to, doubt or guess or anything. Yeah. So requirements engineering, requirements elicitation would help you understand what is being built and you come up with the user stories. I don't know if I answered that question, Nehemiah. You can just drop a chat for us. I'll look at it again. All right. Now, how do you develop these competencies that we just talked about? One is training, like we're offering at Analytics. Training would help you develop all of these competencies. Like I always say, training is basically the start point, right? And it contributes to 80 to 85% of how you can gain these competencies. You can also do that, get another 5% to add to the 85 to make it 90 by personal study. So by the time you do training and personal study, you have 90% 90% competencies. You have gained 90% of these competencies. Then industry engagement, working with or engaging with business analysts or people who work within the industry that you operate in, to understand how things are done so that you get more knowledge into business analysis, right? That would help you also develop competencies, industry engagement. Then work experience. Your work experience, sorry, give me 1 second, please. I have a little challenge in my camera. I'm just trying to fix that. Apologies. Okay, so work experience would also help you gain competencies, all right, in your business analysis journey or your business analysis career, all right? Now, what are we offering? I think Damilola is taking you through all of that, and we'll still take you through all of that. At Analytics, we are offering you all of these. We give you training. We encourage you to do personal study. You have industry engagement because the quality of staff we have at Analytics, the trainers and everybody would help guide you, right? Bringing in the wealth of experience that we have to give you that which you need, the competencies that you need, the knowledge that you need to excel. And of course, I know Damilola has talked or will talk about our internship program that will give you the work experience that you need. So we are 100%, right? Let me not go too much into what Damilola is going to talk about, but yeah, that is the end of these part of the masterclass. So Damilola, I think you can take it from here now and do what you do best. Thank you very much. And then if you have questions, please, you can drop them in the chat. We'll be looking through them and we'll talk about it. Okay, I think we have one. Badjo said, can we get understanding from requirements gathering sections to understand the process? Of course, yes. There are a lot of techniques that you use for requirement gathering that would help you understand the process. Yes, and that's the thing. And let me take it a bit further. So from gathering these requirements, right, you also need to do more study. There are a lot of ways to do that. You can understand that those requirements. You can understand what the processes are when you do your requirement. Harry is saying, what is a story, feature, and epics? I think you should come join us in class, right? We dissect all of those things in class and we'll tell you what they are. But basically, a feature would be a group of stories would deliver a feature, right? And then it depends on how you want to map them. It's called story mapping, Harry. I know you have some kind of knowledge about it. That's why you're asking a story, feature, and epics. It's called story mapping. Story mapping is how you organize your stories, or you put your stories together to make sense so that we are able to see the application holistically, right? So you can map your stories, your user stories into features or into epics, and then deliver them accordingly. But like I said, we'll do more of that. I need to hand over to Damilola now to take the class forward. Damilola, please, over to you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. If you enjoyed Teso's session, can you please drop a thumbs up in the chat? That was, a lot. There was a lot to learn in the course of, the 45 minutes or thereabouts that we spent there. And I hope you guys learned a lot as well. And I'm seeing a question in the chat talking about, from Nehemiah asking, how do you become effective in the requirements gathering process when you can't understand all the tech jargons. I'm looking at it from a perspective of one person doesn't have tech. All right, so Nehemiah, this is just a snippet of the session, right? This is just a snippet of the program, actually, like a very short class, because we don't want to keep you guys hanging here for too long. So very quickly, I'm going to walk you through the core competencies of what you need to learn as a business analyst and how you can get started. All right, so thank you very much for that lovely session, Tesso. Are you able to unshare your screen so that I can bring up mine? Okay, I think I can stop it from here. Okay, so in the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to walk us through how to get started as a business analyst, what you need to learn, the growth internship program, and how you can be a part of that program. Okay, so I'm bringing up my screen now. It should be visible in the next couple of seconds. Okay, I think not. All right, let me just reshare. I'm trying to share full screen. Okay, so okay. All right, I think it should come up now. Please let me know if you can see my screen. I'm just gonna share my entire. Okay, there we go. All right, fantastic. So Teso has taken us through writing user stories as a business analyst. We've also talked about the business analyst profile, ways of developing the core competencies as a business analyst. All right. Then we are going to just very quickly look into the business analyst track brochure and how you can become a master business analyst. So how do you get started in the business as a business analyst, right? How do you become a master business analyst? First off, this is you right here. You come to this session to learn how to write user stories and also get started as a business analyst. So this is you. I'm just going to put in the word you right there. Y-O-U. Okay, it's not. So this is you right here. All right. And then this is you asking, okay, how can I become a business analyst? First off, you start with learning data analytics. Now, data analytics is sort of like an added addition, an added advantage to starting your business analyst journey with 10 analytics, because most times when you check the business analyst, you check their job description, most times you just see, okay, knowledge of Jira, knowledge of Trello, and so on and so forth. Once in a while, you'd see data analytics. And because we want to give you the advantage whereby as a business analyst, you're able to go out there to tell people that, okay, as a business analyst, I can use Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Hence why we added Excel, Power BI, and SQL to our curriculum to give you that maximum advantage as a business analyst. So once you've learned that, you then move to learning other topics like agile essentials. All right, agile essentials right here. You learn software development lifecycle, which is the process that a normal business analyst would follow to implement their project. Then you learn things like business analysis toolkits, how to leverage agile and Scrum projects. You learn requirements fundamentals. Now, to be able to write user stories, you need to be able to elicit your requirements, gather your requirements, and do the analysis of the requirements and get approval on the requirements. So you need to also learn requirement fundamentals and elicitation. Then you learn the business analysis toolkit, and that leads you to becoming a master business analyst. So what are your key learning areas? We already know who a business analyst is. We know that a business analyst is someone who acts as a bridge between the stakeholders, the business stakeholders, and the technical teams of the business. All right. So you are the bridge. This is you right here. This is you in the blue with the blue head, okay, and then this we'll just call these people the business owners, BO, and then the technical team, just call them TT. So as the business analyst, you're going to be acting as the bridge between them, helping the technical teams understand the requirements of the business owners. Okay, you facilitate effective communication and understanding of requirements between the stakeholders and the business owners or technical team rather. So what are your key learning areas? You have Excel, Power BI, and SQL, which allows you to know how to use Excel to generate your reports. That means that you don't necessarily, as a business analyst, have to wait for the data analyst or data scientist to get you the data that you need to, carry out your analysis. You're able to do it by yourself. You also learn how to use Power BI to generate reports, to create interactive dashboards, and also to create your analysis, right? The Excel has a little bit of shortcoming, and the shortcoming from that is, powerly fulfilled by Power BI. So you learn how to use Power BI as a business analyst. Then also learn how to use SQL, which is a database language. And databases are like data storages, right? You store your data in your databases. So if you're working for a company like Microsoft and they have a very large database, you don't necessarily have to wait all the time for the data engineer to get you the data that you need, or wait for data analyst. You get into the database and you draw out your data yourself with your knowledge of SQL, which is called structured query language. And after that, you start to move into your core topics in business analysis, starting with process mapping. This is you learning how to do your learning how to map out your current processes. Maybe maybe a Microsoft app is experiencing problem and you are looking to optimize the process or make a change or create a new thing or what have you that business analysts do. You use process mapping to map out the current process. What is how does this application or this process work at the moment, and what do we want it to be like in the future, which is the future state statement or stage, I don't know what it's called. So process mapping allows you to map out your current state and your future state. And then you learn project initiation planning. This is where you start to learn how to, come up, plan out the project. So you've gotten your need from the business owners or the stakeholders. You want to plan the project from start to finish. The planning, the analysis, the implementation, the design, all of those things. You want to plan it from start to finish, put a timeline to it. This is where you learn how to do all of these things. You also learn Agile and Scrum for projects, right? Because the world is evolving and you see companies asking for Agile business analysts. They don't want business analysts that do not know how to work well in an Agile environment. An Agile environment is an environment that is fast-paced, retracing. They are not waiting for something to be full scale before they implement. They move as time moves. So you learn how to work on Agile and Scrum for projects. You learn software development life cycle. Like I said, it's a life cycle for you're optimizing your processes or your plans or your projects or what have you. You learn requirement fundamentals, you learn requirement elicitation, how to draw out requirements. Again, you found the needs from the company. You want to draw out the main, the requirements that are needed to implement the project that you want to start. You learn requirement elicitation, you learn stakeholders analysis. Nitesa already spoke about stakeholders analysis and engagement, and then you learn ChatGPT for business analysis, how you can leverage AI to work as a business analyst. So what will be your learning timeline? The BA program is for 4 months, okay? 4 months of learning. You learn in 2 months, 2 months of live classes, you're learning, you're working on projects, you have assignments, you get to use our learning management system, right? And then you get to intern for 2 months, okay, working on managing a web app development project. So if at any point in time you're interviewing, this is something that you're able to put in your profile. And if at any point in time you're interviewing and they ask you, oh, what kind of project have you worked on before, or have you worked on any projects? You're able to tell them that, oh, okay, yes, I have worked on managing a web app development project as a business analyst. So these are the things that you are going to be learning in the business analysis program. Okay, so classes are, we have live classes. Classes are on Saturdays, and we have the morning session, we have the evening session. So on Saturdays we have 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This caters to the West African time zone, right? Yeah, the EU, UK, yeah, people in that time zone. And then we have the evening class that caters to people in North America, the US, generally Canada, and so on and so forth. All right. So we have 2 classes for the BA class. We have the morning session and we have the evening session. And if you fall in, any of these categories, you are able to, join any of the classes. And then for Sundays, we have what we call Watch Me Do It videos. And Watch Me Do It videos are pre-recorded videos that we have put together to ensure that you are able to learn the concepts before you come to class. Then when you come to class on Saturdays, you work on case studies, real life case studies. So classes are on weekends. On Saturdays, you have your live classes where you get to interact with your facilitator. And on Sundays, you get to use the learning management system to interact and watch your classes and watch your videos. All right. So in this program, you learn Excel, SQL, Power BI, how to use Lucid Charts, Confluence, Jira for project management. Learn how to use Draw.io for your process mapping, process modeling. Learn to use Trello as well for your project management, and then ChatGPT for business analysis. So again, we've been saying business analyst, but what are the other careers that you can branch into after taking this program? You can work as a process analyst. So it's not a program that is, generally inclined towards one tech career path. You have different career paths that you can branch into. You don't necessarily have to, when you start, applying to jobs, you don't necessarily have to say, okay, I'm just going to be applying for business analyst role. You have other roles that you can apply to. We have process analyst, business architect, process improvement analyst, product reliability engineer, business process analyst, business systems analyst, IT business analyst, requirements engineer, and so on and so forth. These are the different roles that you can work in after taking this program. So different tech career paths that you can dive into. Now, we talked earlier about our what's it called now? Join our growth internship, right? You also get to join our growth internship. This is an internship that gives you the opportunity to work on real life projects. It's fully free, okay? Completely free, like it states here. It's a free 1-month internship that provides you with the opportunity to accelerate your career by equipping you with a requisite work experience. So all the, if you like, have work experience, like don't have work experience, as long as you're part of this internship, all the work experience that you need to start applying to jobs as a business analyst, you get to have them here. You get to, join all of these things here. So this is an opportunity for you to do there's an opportunity for you to do a free 1-month internship with Analytics. And this, what does this do for you? Makes your resume stand out. Again, like I said, if you don't have tech career, you don't have tech backgrounds, you don't have science background, that's fine. That is absolutely fine, right? Because what we're going to equip you here with would allow you to gather all the experience that you need to go out there, get the job that you want. Okay. So the whole essence of the internship is to make your resume stand out and provide some level of exposure within a particular industry or field. And how does it work? Interns are given real life projects. They spend their time working on it, learning about the field, networking with industry experts within the field, and also, developing both hard and soft skills that they need to go out into the world and start to land the roles that they want. Okay, so you have a dedicated coach assigned to you to help you through this 1 month journey. It's not a journey that you're going to be having on your own. You have a dedicated coach, you have program managers to work with, you also have developers to work with as well. You get to work with scrum masters, a lot of people, and then at the end of the day, you're just networking, working on projects and having fun at the same time. So would also support you to include the internship as your work experience. If at any point in time, you know, when you're crafting your CV, be able to include on your CV that, oh yeah, I worked as a consultant I work as a business analysis consultant for Analytics, and yeah, these are the things that I did for them. You also get to join a community of other analysts ready to support you through your learning journey. Okay, so this is an example of a portfolio that you're going to be building in the business analysis program. This portfolio contains real world projects. Of course, let's just take a look at it and see very quickly see what it looks like. I'm just going to open up the portfolio and show you what it looks like. This is the portfolio of Lemuel, who took the business analysis program at a point in time, and she's also working as a business analyst at the moment. Okay, so this is in the course of she working, you know, joining the analytics program, she was able to build this portfolio. And eventually, when she was applying to jobs, they asked her, oh, do you have any experience? She said yes. She presented this portfolio as her experience portfolio. Okay, so these are some of the projects that she worked on. I think it's taking a while to load. Okay, so I'm just going to move to these Unilever canteen ordering system projects that she worked on. So if I click on it, it comes, you see the whole projects that okay. Yeah, my internet is turning up slow. Okay, so this is a project that she worked on where she was able to work on a Unilever canteen ordering system. Apparently, they had issues with their ordering system, right? They had issues with their ordering system, and they worked on that project really until you get into the program before you understand fully everything that I'm trying to. Okay, I think my internet is a bit woggy right now. I'm just going to reload that very quickly. So again, it was a Unilever canteen ordering system. They had issues with their ordering system, and they reached out to the business analyst within our team to help work on that project, you know, a consulting project. You can see that it's a Unilever, it's a British Dutch FMCG company. That's Unilever. It's a pretty popular company, right? You know, I think every single person here has one or two Unilever products in their homes. Okay, so they reached out and they wanted to just help us. They wanted us to help them with their country, their ordering system, their canteen ordering system. And you can see that from here, she was able to like state out the problem statement with the current state. That's what you do with you know, when you're doing your processes. Obviously, employees were facing challenges due to a significant rush in canteen between 12 to 1 p.m. right? And this resulted in time wasted as they wait for available tables. Now, she also listed out the objectives of the new canteen ordering system. What do they want to see in the new system that they want to build? They want to alleviate canteen rush completely. They don't want people to be barging they don't want any rush or lack of tables in the canteen within that time. They also wanted an efficient ordering system in that people are able to order for their lunch or breakfast or what have you without having prolonged waiting time. They wanted a flexible and user-friendly ordering app where where the users can easily select what they want, finalize their launch orders, and check out. All right, so she also listed the more objectives here, talking about order accuracy and finality, streamlined order processing and delivery, seamless payment integration in a way that they're able to make payments without having to maybe pay in cash or what have you, that keeps a lot of money flying around. she was able to build a business case. Now, you're also going to be learning how to build a business case as a business analyst, because this is what you use to justify the project that you want to work on. All right. So she built a business case around this, and the timeline that they had was 3 months. Okay. So she stated out the business problem, stated out the options that they had, the benefits, the timeline, the cost, and the expected ROI, right? So if Unilever embarks on this project, what will be their gain at the end of the day? Their gain from year zero was £0. Year one, he was minus 70. Year two was minus 50. Year three was minus, year four, minus 10. And then year five, they decided to regain their money little by little. So she was able to state out that using sort of like an investment appraisal. And then she was also able to state out the risks associated with embarking on this project. She listed out the stakeholders within the team that will be responsible for working on this project: the employees, the management, the canteen manager, the chef, the delivery boy, the payroll department, and so on and so forth. They drew out a stakeholders analysis matrix, which allowed them to know, okay, who are the stakeholders with low interest and high power and low interest, who are the stakeholders with low interest and high power. All of those things gathered them together. She did a RESI, is it RESI or RESI matrix, where she's able to assign tasks to each of the stakeholders. They did their SWOT analysis, which allowed them to know the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats of this particular project. All right. She also did the as-is state, which is the current state of the canteen ordering system. This is how they currently operate their canteen ordering system. And then she moves to design to the to-be state, how they want the ordering system to work. All right. Then they had their sprints where they, inserted their users, try to draw up their user stories. So you can see the user story here. As an employee, literally like what we just finished on a couple of minutes ago. As an employee, I want to be able to register for the online canteen ordering system using my staff ID and a secure password so that I can gain access to the web page. She listed out the acceptance criteria. All right. Then each user stories, more user stories, a lot of user stories to cater for every requirement within the cater for every requirement within the project. And at the end of the day, they were able to come up with a very nice solution for Unilever ordering system. So that's really the projects that some of the projects that you're going to also be working on as a business analyst when you join 10 Analytics. All right. Okay, so why should you train with Analytics? Why should you choose us as your training partner? Why should you choose to go us as the people that you go on this journey with? We have 4 major things that we do that people out there do not do. Number one is the phenomenal, we have 4 major things that we have that people out there do not have. Number one is the phenomenal achievements helping people get jobs. We've helped over 2,000 people transition from the classroom into their first role in tech, cutting across different continents, different countries, and so on and so forth. And we have this track record of remarkable success over the last 4 years, literally like 4 years ago. That's when we started. So if you go again, it's not just by talking, right? You can just go on any of our social media pages to check out every of these persons that have come on board, and they've had so much to say about Analytics. We also have industry standard facilitators and curriculum. Our curriculum is structured in a way that is very beginner friendly and packed. You're going to be learning every single thing that you need to get started as a business analyst. We have the most up-to-date curriculum and the best trainers in the industry with experience in Fortune 500 companies. So, I said earlier that you have people that have the experience, they have the knowledge, they have everything that you need for you to get started as a business analyst, right? And they're going to be equipping you with this knowledge. We also have the blended training to accommodate every learning type. So if you're a slow learner, you're a fast learner, you like to join live classes, or you like to, watch concept videos, we have everything to cater for every type of learner. And then we have tailored sessions to position you to land your first job. We have the LinkedIn optimization session, the CV review session for people that would like to freelance and do their things on the side or earn more money on the side. We have the Upwork profile optimization session, all right, and we have the interview preparation sessions that prepare you to succeed in your interviews. All right, so these are the additional employability services. We have the CV review sessions where you get to meet with our internal experts that would walk you through how to, craft your CV in a way that it's compelling. You see a lot of CVs these days and you're just confused. You see their date of birth, you see their age, you see just a lot of things that you should not have. We are going to teach you. We'll teach you how to craft a compelling CV, and not just by yourself, but also like optimizing AI, artificial intelligence, to craft a compelling CV. Then also teach you LinkedIn optimization. You see people, getting jobs on LinkedIn every day. You can also get a job on LinkedIn. It's not rocket science. We will teach you how to optimize your CV in a way that is very attractive, because you go on LinkedIn and you see some people, they have their family members as their profile banner. Your LinkedIn is not your Facebook page, right? It's a professional page that used to sell yourself. Use it to tell people what you do. And by so selling yourself, you're attracting people, attracting recruiters, emphasis on recruiters every day. You see, I have a friend that every job that she has ever worked on in her life, she got it from LinkedIn. She didn't even have to apply. It was just by people, she putting out what she's doing, what she does, selling herself, and recruiters reaching out to, head-ons and talent hunts, and so on and so forth. So we have the LinkedIn optimization session. We have the Upwork profile optimization. This is for people that want to earn on the side, or maybe you don't want to work for anybody. You want to be a boss of your own. You want to be a freelancer. You want the opportunity to work on different diverse projects as a business analyst. We'll teach you how to open up a compelling profile optimization, a profile on Upwork. Also teach you how to, get connect and draw up your proposals for your project. Then we have the navigating the market, job market sessions. These are sessions that teach you how to navigate the job market. Where should you go to apply? How should you apply? How should you craft your CV? How you should not use one CV for all your applications. How you are meant to tailor your CV to the job specific description. We'll teach you how to navigate all of these job searching areas. Then job and interview preparation. At every point in time that you get scouted and they ask you to come in for an interview, we'll prep you for the interview, right? Would get you on a session one-on-one, look at the job description, look at your CV, and we'll do like a real life simulation of what the interview is going to be like. We've had people that have joined, they've had their job interview preparations with us, and then they come back and say, it's the same questions that we asked that the recruit has asked. We have experts within the house that are able to interview you, ensure that you're well prepped for these sessions, and you just go in there and smash it like the pro that you are. Then we have the recommendation and reference letter. If when you've landed, let me not say if, because you land a job, all right? So when you've landed the job, and you need somebody to give you a reference letter, we at Analytics will write you that reference letter, all right? We'll write one for you. We have people that have gone to the program and every day they are requesting for reference letter, and we'll provide that for you, either for visa sponsorship, for jobs, for job getting, for school, whatever it is that you need a recommendation letter for, we'll write it for you. Then we have the weekly mentorship sessions. Now, there's something about following somebody that knows the road, because it's very important that you follow people that have gone through this path before, so that you don't make the same mistakes that they made. It's very important that you're able to, somebody handholds you, mentors you to know, people that have gone through this, they have 10 years of experience. They're going to be mentoring you. Okay, these are the things that you should do, how to negotiate your salary, how to optimize your CV, how to, answer questions, interview simulation sessions. We're going to be having all of this in our weekly mentorship sessions, so that at the end of the day, even before you get to the halfway through your program, you already have that confidence that I am a business analyst, I can land this job. So we have the weekly mentorship sessions, and then we have the on-the-job support that after you've landed your job, you're working already. If you need one or two to somebody to get on the session with you, talk you through how to do one or two, we'll do that for you as well. And then our level 3 is our promise to you, which is a guaranteed job interview 1 month after completing your training with us at 10 Analytics. So again, it always seems impossible until it is actually done. We have more success stories here. We have Tim Yvonne, who he was a lawyer. So you can see that he didn't have tech background. But now Timmy works as a business analyst, right? And from what he said, his time at Analytics, most especially because of the way everyone is carried along. We carry everybody along. So if you're a slow learner, you're a fast learner, we find a balance, we carry every single person along. This is Ramat. Ramat landed a job as a business analyst in the UK after training with us. And guess what? This job even came with full visa sponsorship. So if you're outside the country right now, maybe you're on a student visa or a care visa or a visa that does not allow you to be flexible, does not allow you work from home, you have the full opportunity to transition and also land a job that allows you to get full visa sponsorship. We have more people that we're going to be talking about later on. But guess what? Our next cohort is going to be starting on the 3rd of August 2024. On the 3rd of August 2024. And you, if you're on this call, should be a part. It's not even this is not something that you should be, this is something that you should have made a decision on by now to be a part of this session starting 3rd of August 2024. And to join us, you are going to have to make that investment, because again, to invest is very important in this tech world, right? It's very important that you invest in something that you've seen that is working and you know that it is going to work for you as well. All right. So for the first 20 people that are going to be registering for this program, we have a discount for you. All right, we are taking 20% off the program fee, and you get to pay 80% of the program fee. I'm not hearing a round of applause, but that's fine. All right, so you get to pay, if you want to pay in dollars, we have the full amount at $750,000. But because we are taking 20% off, you're going to be paying just $600. Okay, so you also get to pay in 2 installments, which is another advantage for everybody. Actually, first payment is $400 to seal your spot, because these spots, they get filled up really fast. I need to also add that it gets filled up really fast. So as soon as possible, you want to make that payment to fill up, to seal your spot in place, stamp your name in the wall of time. All right, so yeah, $400 to make the first payment and get your space, and then $200 1 month into the program. If you're paying in pounds, the full amount is £625, but because we're doing a 20% discount, you get to pay £500, right? So you get to pay £350 to seal your spot, and £150 1 month into the program. If you're paying in euros, you ought to pay 730 European euros, right? But because of the discount, obviously you get to pay 580. So 400 to get started, and 180 1 month into the program. If you're paying in card, you ought to pay 1,125 Canadian dollars, but discount of 20% off, you're paying 900. So 600 first and 300 1 month into the program. Okay, so make the first payment to register, balance up the second payment after 1 month into the program. Okay, my colleague is dropping the payment link in the chat, so feel free to pick it up and go ahead and register. I'm just going to show you how to also make payment very quickly, if you're, so that you can just get through that very quickly. Okay, so if you open the link that my colleague is dropping in the chat, you scroll down, all right. If you also want to transfer, we have the payments we have the payments transfer details here. So for business analysis, you'd see business analysis, and you just click on business analysis. It takes you to the page. So I can see somebody asking me how much it is in Naira. Okay, Fatima. So it's still the same link. Once you click on the link and you open it up, depending on where you stay, you get to see the payments in that price. All right, so that's the payments platform that we're using. So for example, I'm in Nigeria. You can see what it has brought up for me. Oh, okay. Yeah. So once you've selected, you've dropped in the amount that you want to pay, you click on proceed to pay. So you can also pay with your card, right? So you enter my full name. I'm just going to put this and click on proceed. And once I do that, I would to roll and ask me to enter my card details. So I don't even have to stress. I'll just enter my card details and make the payment. If you want to pay transfer as well, it generates a bank account details for you. If you're doing transfer via bank, which is quite a long method, just paying with card gets you your destination very quickly. So that's how to make the payments. And again, note that this discount is for the first 20 people. Okay, it's for the first 20 people. Once we get to 20, once we reach the 20th, the pin on 20, every other person is going to be reverting back to this amount, to the full amount. So to avoid becoming one of the people that gets to pay the 100%, you need to make your payments as soon as possible. The spots are filling up really, really fast. All right. So at this junction, I'm going to be taking questions. If you have questions for me, you have questions regarding the program, you need a clarification on one or two things, I'm going to take questions now, and then we can call it an amazing day. So please use the raise hand icon to ask your questions, or you can just drop them in the chat. I'm going to pick them up from there. All right. So again, discount is for the first 20 people to register. We have more success stories here. This is Ini. Ini got a job as a CEO at a tech company right after joining 10 Analytics. We have Nathaniel, who started his program in December, got his job literally a month after. We have Efe. Efe got a job as a business analyst with Accessco 3 months after joining us at 10 Analytics. All right, these are people sending in their success stories. I'm going to let us listen to Abigail. Abigail is a very special person, right? Because Abigail, she when she was in Canada, she's currently in Canada, right? And then she was working as a care worker. And one day she got tired and said, I can't do this anymore. She wanted to change her life, actually like do something else. And she enrolled for the business analyst program here at 10 Analytics, this same program. And now Abigail works as a business analyst in Edmonton, Canada. I'm just going to let us listen to Abigail's story very quickly. They said that it is from the horse's mouth that you hear one or two. So let's look
If
at...
you're a web designer, here are 4 Wix Studio features.
Okay, let's look at Abigail's story in very short minutes. I'm just going to skip this, replay
My
this.
name is Abigail Geiger,
Okay.
and I want to talk about my journey with 10 Analytics and how it has helped me to ace my interview and eventually land that dream job that we, always wanted. So my training with 10 Analytics has transformed my career as a business analyst. They have coached me really well, thoroughly, with hands-on projects, and the instructors are usually super awesome. Topics that are covered are usually real life experience with a hands-on project where you do as a team, where you do as individual. There's always a one-on-one session if you want. Interview preparation, they use real life experience, they coach you on interview, and they tell you what you are doing right and what you are doing wrong and where you need to improve and where you are perfect, and all of that. I'm recommending 10 Analytics to all my friends, to anyone watching this video. Please don't think about it twice when you just try and attend one of the sessions. It will open your mind, it will give you more ideas on what it is all about. Don't be scared. it was working with analytics that gave me the confidence to apply for some job roles that I naturally wouldn't apply, because I feel those job roles are usually too big for me. Like, you know, the name sounds so big, and analytics makes me understand that you can do it as a business analyst. We all got the idea. So I am 100% recommending analytics to anyone that has thought about being a business analyst, a data analyst, or all the analysts that they coach you on. You won't have regret in it. You will come to thank me later. I am happy I joined analytics. They help you develop your user stories on how to use scenario, on how to use real life experience to answer your interview questions, which is usually what helps you to ace your interview. I am so happy I joined analytics, and I wouldn't have been where I am today without the coaching and help of analytics. I personally would want to thank the coordinator. He's very good at doing his job. His name is Ubong. Please disturb Ubong on everything you need. Like, he's always there 100%. Any time of the day you call him, he picks. It doesn't matter he's sleeping 2 a.m., 1 a.m. I am really recommending analytics. So guys, join analytics and you won't regret it. And analytics, I personally want to thank you for training me, for building my confidence, and for helping me to understand that there's a BA in every one of us. Thank you guys. Bye.
All right. So
Bye guys.
that's
Guys.
Abigail's
Talk about my
that's Abigail's story. You can see that she decided to just choose Analytics as a learning partner, and today she's working as a business analyst in Edmonton, Canada. So I can see a question asking, yeah, classes are on weekends, right? Your classes are on weekends, and you're going to be having, like, just like my colleague has said, you're going to be having lifetime access to the training materials. You're going to be having lifetime access to the training materials. On Saturdays, you get to attend okay, so I'm just going to show you very quickly the portal that we use for our classes, all right, so that you can have a sneak peek of everything I'm going to be enjoying, basically. So my screen is coming up again. This is all right, so this is our learning management system that you're going to be using. You can see our AI trainer, which basically helps you to understand concept as well. You can have like private chats with the AI trainer. Maybe you're having issues understanding a particular concept. Okay, you get to speak with the AI trainer. For example, I can just type here. This is what I was asking it a question, and it was bringing it up for me. So if I say explain user stories to me like a 5-year-old. I'm just going to tap that in. And yeah, we'll wait for it to come up with the questions. Look at that. So it says, imagine you have a big box of colorful Lego blocks, right? Each represents a small task that needs to be done to build a cool Lego castle. That's it. So it says now think of a user story as a special instruction that tells you which blocks to use and how to build them together to build a specific part of the castle. All right. So yeah, we can then say, it says, do you have any other follow-up question? I can say, okay. If I say, oh, can you generate 2 user stories for the example above? Okay. I know I'm still picking up Python, but yeah, so you can see it says, as a data scientist, I want to develop a machine learning model to predict customer churn. This is the user story, this is another user story. And yeah, that's how our AI trainer, which we call Oluko, works, right? Such a dynamic name. But yeah, this is our let me just go back. So once you enroll in our program, you get full access to our learning management system. All right, where you get to open your account and join our program. You can see very cool, very succinct, very fantastic website. We have our leaderboard where we get to manage your training, right? How you're watching the video. Obviously, you can say I'm on 7 XRP. I've not been watching my videos and I just need to do better. But yeah, if I click on continue learning, it takes me to my videos, right? Which are going to be your videos in the next couple of days. So you see the Excel, Power BI, SQL, introduction to business analysis. If I just play one of the videos very quickly, introduction to Excel. This is an overview of the Excel for data analytics. I'm just going to click on play. And if I put that on full screen, sorry, that's not very much. All right.
Welcome. This part of the session, we're going to be handling Excel for data analytics. All right. So this is where you start to use Excel.
To that. And these are the things that you get to enjoy when you join the program. All right. So again, the discount is for the first 20 people. The earlier you register, the better, for lack of yeah. This is what we're going to be stopping for today. If you have questions for me, please use the raise an icon and I'll call you to ask your questions. And we'll just take 1 or 2 questions and then close for the day. So do we have any questions in the house? Do we have anybody with questions about the program? Need more clarification for payments? Anything you need? I'm here to answer your questions. All right. So in the absence of none, then I guess we've taken on the questions that we have. We're going to call it a very fantastic day here. Thank you so much to everybody that has stayed till the end. Listen here, this is a program that would help you move from point A to point B. It's very essential that you make that investment. Very essential that you make that investment. And it is something that you're not going to regret at all. All right. So all right, Joseph. So depending on where you are currently, once you go to the website, you see, I didn't know if somebody had down this. All right, once you go to the website, just click on the website. It would convert it to whatever currency that is being spent wherever you are. If you're in China, it brings out the yuan equivalent for you. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, Ari, I can't see Ari. Ubong, do you want to bring Ari up? I can't see from here. Hello, Ubong. All right, Ari. So you please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me from there?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, please. I'd like to understand the difference between a business data analyst and a Scrum Master Agile project manager. Thank you.
All right. The difference between a business analyst and a Scrum Master. So do you want to do justice to that? If you can hear me. Okay, I guess Teso is not there. So if you're asking who a business analyst is, we said earlier that a business analyst is somebody who manages process. You manage projects, right? You optimize processes within the company. You manage projects. If your company is looking to make a change within the project, within their processes, for example, if you work with maybe a company like Google that are looking to make a change in their marketing departments, you optimize the process, you find out their current state and the future states where they want to go to, where the states where they are looking to get to. You then do your planning, your analysis. You work with the designer to create a design of the current design of what you want to implement. You work with the developer to implement this. Then also you work with the testers to test the new product, and from there you scale. So as a business analyst, you are like the intermediary between the business owners, the stakeholders, and the technical team. You know how it's possible for somebody to be saying something, but you cannot understand. As a business analyst, you're expected to understand the jargons, the technical jargons that the tech team guys would say. And then you're expected to also understand the needs of the business owners. And then you then bring these two things together, you merge them together, and you make sense of it in a way that everybody is satisfied. That's your work as a business analyst. Now, as a Scrum Masters are facilitators. They facilitate projects or meetings within the company, right? So in one company, you see project managers, you see business analysts, you see Scrum Masters. Now, at some point, their roles might start to sound, oh, it sounds the same, but there are clear differences, right? Because as a Scrum Master, what they do is, they do their Scrum artifacts, their Scrum meetings, they plan the sprints, all right? They are the ones in charge of planning the sprints and monitoring the sprints to ensure. I don't know if you understand what sprint means, but it's like a cycle, right? So they're the ones that are planning this cycle to ensure that it's being followed. So if the company wants to start a project, now, if you are the business analyst, the company wants to start a project, okay? So you, the business analyst, will gather the requirements, do the needs, elicit your requirements, do your analysis. What the Scrum Master would do is to get everybody together within a session. So they do something that they call daily stand-up meetings. In these daily stand-up meetings, it's the Scrum Master that facilitates these meetings every single day. So in this meeting, you as a business analyst, you come and tell the company or your team what you did yesterday, what you are going to be doing today, and what your blockages are, right? Same for the project manager, same for the developer, same for the tester. Everybody within the team would talk about their blockages, what they did yesterday, what they are doing today, and it is the Scrum Master that will facilitate these meetings. The Scrum Master will also facilitate meetings like the sprint review meetings, the retrospective meetings, and so on and so forth. So Scrum Masters are like facilitators of projects, okay? And they also like manage projects to ensure that it does not go past the timeline that the company has planned. Does that answer your question, Ari?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right then. So do we have any other questions for us? Ubong, do we have any other person with their hands raised?
Yes, there's a little bit of mix up in terms of understanding the job responsibility of a Scrum Master and that of a project manager.
Okay, Ari, are you stating a fact or are you asking a question?
Yes, did you hear me?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're asking a question or you're stating a fact.
Yeah, it's a question.
Or can you repeat the question?
Okay. I'm asking that there is a little mix-up about the role of a Scrum Master and that of a project manager. If you could give more clarity on that. Thank you.
No, so there's no mix-up. Again, I said, if Scrum Master facilitates Scrum meetings, Scrum artifacts, and all of those things, a project manager plans the project and they manage the project. So, for example, as a business analyst, if you're working with a project manager, you have to report to the project manager every day about your projects that you're working on. Do you understand? So they plan the projects, they do the project charter. It is the job of a project manager to create the project charter. But a Scrum Master does not do project charter. They facilitate the Scrum meeting. All right. So there's no in between. Their roles are very different within an agile environment. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right then. So this is where we're going to be stopping for today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you all have a very restful night. We would love to see you in the program. So please ensure that you register as soon as possible. Thank you guys, and have a very good day or night or have you. Bye everyone.